Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're part of the Public Gems podcast,
That's right.
where we unearth fascinating movies and TV shows from the golden age and beyond.
Yeah, digging up those often overlooked pieces.
Exactly. And today we're looking at a real public gem from 1952. It's the film noir, The Ring.
Ah, yes. A powerful one.
We're going to, examine its core themes and figure out why this story, why it still resonates, why it hits home today.
Well, what's really compelling about The Ring, it was directed by Kurt Newman, based on an Irving Shulman novel, is how it really stands as one of Hollywood's earliest and most unflinching looks at some tough issues.
Like what specifically?
Identity, ambition, sure, but also those really stubborn societal barriers.
Okay.
So our mission, I guess, in this deep dive is to pull out the key insights, how it portrays these struggles, especially for its Mexican-American protagonist.
Right. Okay, let's unpack that central conflict then.
Let's do it.
It focuses on Tomas Cantaños, played by Lalo Rios. He's a young Mexican-American guy from a poor Chicano neighborhood in L.A.
Right, and just for clarity, Chicano meaning people of Mexican descent born in the U.S. Southwest, typically?
Exactly. So Tomas, he starts boxing, takes the ring named Tommy Kansas, and he really believes that becoming a successful pro boxer, that's the ticket. That's what will finally earn him respect, acceptance.
Especially among the English-speaking white majority.
Yeah.
The Anglos, as they're often called in the film.
Oh, right.
And this immediately brings up a huge question, doesn't it? One that's still relevant.
Which is?
What happens when achievement, even big success, just doesn't buy you the acceptance you thought it would?
Yeah. So Tommy gets famous in the boxing world.
He does, gets recognition. But he finds out pretty quickly that the Anglos who are drawn to him, they're mostly just interested in his sports reputation. What he can do in the ring.
Not him as a person.
Exactly. They still see him as an outsider, defined by his background, his skin color, not his success.
So it's not just about, individual mean people.
No. It really shines a light on how deep institutionalized bigotry can run, how it's baked in, even when someone seems to be winning within that system.
That's a really powerful point. It's more subtle, maybe. An ingrained bias.
Yeah, I think so. And what's really striking is how this plays out even with the white characters who seem okay.
You mean his manager, Pete, Gerald Moore?
Right, and the trainer, Freddie, Robert Osterloh, they treat him, decently on the surface.
Right.
But their main drive is money. It's financial gain. They see Tommy almost as a commodity.
A way to make a buck.
Basically. Which, subtly reinforces that outsider status again. It's not genuine connection.
And then there's Lucy, Rita Moreno's character. She adds another layer, right? That emotional core.
Oh, absolutely pivotal.
Yeah.
Lucy, played by the amazing Rita Moreno, she represents that genuine, unconditional acceptance.
The thing he actually wants.
Exactly. The love he craves. It's such a stark contrast to the kind of conditional, transactional stuff he gets in the boxing world.
So her character really highlights how hollow the fame feels without real belonging.
Perfectly put. It highlights the emptiness if it doesn't lead to real human connection. The film weaves these two struggles together so well.
The external prejudice and the internal search for identity and love?
Yeah, it makes The Ring really quite poignant, especially for 1952.
Looking at the bigger picture, then, what makes The Ring so significant in film history?
Well, it's really up there as one of Hollywood's earliest sports films to tackle discrimination against Chicanos so directly, so explicitly.
Were there others touching on similar things before?
You can definitely find threads, yeah. Themes of Mexican-American identity, maybe some social commentary in films from the 40s, like The Girl from Monterey.
Okay.
But The Ring was pretty groundbreaking for just putting that prejudice front and center. No pulling punches, so to speak.
Ah, nice one.
It really forces you, the viewer, to think about how long-lasting prejudice can be, even when someone achieves, great personal success.
It makes you ask, what does real integration even look like?
Exactly. Can a society truly accept someone it still fundamentally sees as other? That's the hard question it poses.
So wrapping this up, what's the takeaway for us now, watching this film all these decades later?
Well, it's clearly more than just an old movie from '52.
It feels like a time capsule almost.
It is, and one that still speaks volumes about that timeless human drive for belonging and how insidious discrimination can be, often hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, a real reminder that, superficial recognition isn't the same as real acceptance.
Right. It can mask those deeper systemic divides that frankly, we're still grappling with in society.
So this deep dive into the ring leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it?
I think so. It's that question of how do we as a society move beyond just sort of tolerating people or recognizing their achievements and actually move towards genuine, unconditional acceptance across all the lines that divide us.
Yeah, and maybe what other public gems like this are out there.
Exactly. Quietly holding up a mirror to our own times, just waiting for us to really listen.